Greetings, everyone. I am Pete Pardo from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of Ranking the Albums. Today we're going to take a look at the studio releases from a guy, guitarist, vocalist, songwriter from a very prominent band. He's got 4 solo records under his belt. That guy is Jerry Cantrell, of course, from Alice in Chains. 4 solo albums. You may be saying, well, Pete, technically there's kind of 5. Yes, there is, because, of course, his second album, Degradation Trip, he recorded a shit ton of stuff during those sessions. They originally released the single album, and then a little while afterwards they released it as a full-blown kind of double album with all the stuff that he recorded. I've never had that version. I've only got the regular Degradation Trip, so we're going to kind of go off of that. But we've got Boggy Depot, of course, his first album, which came out in 1998. That's the first album. We've got, like I mentioned, Degradation Trip, which came out in 2002, his second album. You got Brighten, 2021. There's a big, almost 20-year, 19-year gap in between the two. That's his third album. It's the only one I don't have a hard copy of. And then I Want Blood, which came out just last fall, as a matter of fact, from 2024, his fourth album. So, again, I think if you're a fan of Alice in Chains, there's absolutely no reason why at least all 4, definitely 3 of these albums, one may be a little bit of an outlier, these would be and should be sitting in your collection alongside your Alice in Chains albums, because whether you really gravitate towards the early stuff, his guitar playing and vocals, because let's remember, he and Lane Staley sang lots of stuff together. Their voices are so similar. And even in more recent years, since William Duvall has joined the band, who also kind of sounds just like Lane, right? So you have this double-pronged vocal attack. And you listen to these Jerry Cantrell solo albums, and half the time you think, God, is that Lane? No, it's Jerry, because they both sound so similar. They have that kind of pained, kind of haunting quality to their voice that's just so similar. And like I said, William Duvall fits right in there. So, and of course, all these the heavy riffs and everything, the broodingness, the doominess, a lot of that is present on these solo records. So I think if you're a fan of the Alice in Chains albums, past or more recent, I think you'll love these if you haven't heard them already. So I'm going to rank these in the order that I like them. Like I said, I think for me, there was a clear number 4, and it was a little tough doing maybe number 3 was a little easier. My top 2 were hard to kind of distinguish here. But anyway, all right, my number 4, again, it's the only one I don't have. I'm going to go with Brighten from 2021, his third album. So again, like I mentioned, this one comes almost 20 years, right, but 19 years to be exact, after the last one. Here on the album, he's got helping him out. He's got Duff McKagan's on here on bass. Greg Puciato's doing some backing vocals. He appears on a couple albums. Gil Sharon on drums. Vincent Jones on keyboards. Abe Laborio plays some bass as well, and a few other people appear. Starts off really good. A tone kicks off the album. Dark, brooding, doomy. Nice use of a kind of acoustic and electric guitars. He does a lot of that in his solo career. He blends in acoustic guitars and the big heavy electric guitars for a nice little balance. Really done very well on this track. This was also one of the singles. Came out. Brighten, another one of the singles. It's kind of upbeat, kind of a bright, just modern rock song. Pretty catchy, well done. Kind of sounds a little bit different for him, right? Because this one is just a good rock song. Doesn't really have many of the Alice in Chains trademarks, but it's still really good. Next up is Prism of Doubt, which is kind of and he does it a lot on this album, this kind of jangly country rock thing. I'm really not all that interested when Jerry takes this route. He dabbles with a bit of country on this album. I'm not much of a country fan. It's well done. It's just not for me. I would say anybody who likes kind of more modern country / rock, that type of thing, I think you'll really like what he does on this album when he goes in that style. It's just not for me, but it's well done. Vocals are great. Instrumentation is great, right? Whole 9 yards. Black Hearts and Evil Done, kind of more of the same. Again, really well done, just not what I'm into. Got more acoustic country flavors on Siren Song, but then there's some of those darker rock elements that he likes to do start to creep in a little bit. Had to Know, high energy hard rock, quite memorable, really nice guitar, really good organ tones, great chorus, could be my favorite song on the album. Really, really good one. Had to Know, like that a lot. Nobody Breaks You, Not really a fan of that. Dismembered, more kind of like that jangly country Americana thing. Just doesn't do it for me. And then Goodbye closes. That's like a really somber, kind of depressing song. I mean, like I said, this one is easily my least favorite of all of them. But I do give him credit for trying some new things, doing some new things, even if it isn't quite my cup of tea. But there are a couple really good songs, though, that I quite enjoy. At least 3, maybe 4 of the tracks on here I really like quite a bit. The others I could kind of do without. So, but that's just me. But it's nicely done, produced very well. So I can't really knock it too much, just not sort of for me, right? Number 3, I'm going to go with the debut, Boggy Depot. There might be folks who might have this at number 1. I think it's quite good, actually. This was recorded and released while Alice in Chains were kind of on a lengthy hiatus. They really weren't doing much of anything, the late 90s. And all but Lane appear on the album alongside Jerry. Dick Eye, terrific Alice in Chains style heavy rocker, opens the album. It's quite catchy. Excellent vocals, guitar work, the whole 9 yards. Really good song. Cut You In, I'll Cut You In. That's, some of you might remember that. That was released as the single. That could have fit on any Alice in Chains album. It's got that quirky little acoustic opening and then the big heavy chorus. It's fun. It's that's a cool song. I really dig that a lot. My Song, dark and moody, has this haunting chorus, and Jerry's vocals are so good. It's got this kind of slow plodding riffing. Good song. Settling Down, it's a piano-led moody ballad. It's okay. Breaks My Back has some kind of weird psychedelic effects on Jerry's vocals. Big crushing riffs, wah-wah guitar leads. Good song. Devil by His Side is kind of bright and catchy. You think with the name of that song it'd be something different, but it's kind of heavy, but it's got like that little bit of Americana feel in there. Again, maybe predating a little bit of the more country style flavors that he goes towards on the album that I just spoke about before. But it's not bad. Keep the Light On is slightly bluesy, but really heavy. Meaty guitar licks, some strong vocals from Jerry. Big grooves. I like that. Really, really good. Satisfies is one of those trademark kind of mournful, doomy, brooding numbers. Kind of goes back and forth between like bluesy and kind of heavy and doomy, right? It's good. Nice electric guitar solo too on it. Really good. Hurt a Long Time. Another bluesy, moody number. Going back and forth between electric and acoustic guitars. Some nice textures on this track. I do like it. Has almost kind of sounds southern rock to me in spots. Between, more of that kind of like jangly country rock thing. Again, that shit's kind of starting on this album a little bit. Again, if you don't mind it, it's well done. I'm just not really a fan. And then Cold Piece closes the album, which is a weird track. It's the longest. It's like over 8 minutes long. It's got piano and sax, got like these weird kind of like almost like free jazz moments, and it's dissonant. It's odd. I haven't yet decided if I really like this song or not. It's it's cool because it's different and it's kind of long and it's kind of psychedelic and kind of jazzy, but it's just kind of weird for this album. Overall, some really good tracks here. A couple that don't really connect with, but mostly quite good. Mostly quite good. Like I said, if folks pick this as their number 1, I wouldn't argue it all that much. My number 2, my number 1, I go back and forth on. Honestly, I'm already thinking that I'm kind of picked the wrong one for number 2, but I'm going to kind of stick with my picks, but just let you know, my 1 and 2 could flip-flop back and forth because to me, these are the cream of the Jerry Cantrell solo catalog. I'm going to go with Degradation Trip. Yep. You know what you're seeing there. Robert Trujillo from Metallica, and of course Mike Borden from Faith No More and Ozzy's band, and all sorts of stuff. Second solo album came out just a few months after Lane passed away. Right. Starts off with a song called Psychotic Break. Doomy, heavy. Love it. Love Jerry's lead vocal. Sounds so much like Lane. It's chilling. You think you're hearing like this long lost Alice in Chains track. It's just so good. Bargain Basement Howard Hughes just totally crushes. Nasty guitar tone and riffs. Anger Rising has that blend of acoustic and electric guitars that I've spoken about quite a bit. He does that, layers those really nicely on these albums. Again, it's mixing some of that kind of Americana thing with traditional Alice in Chains style doom-laden alternative metal, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Good track. And a really good vocal from Jerry. Angel Eyes was released as a single. Pretty catchy, kind of heavy song. Again, nice use of acoustic guitars to offset the big heavy riffing. Solitude, brooding, emotional acoustic piece with pain vocals from Jerry over lush kind of acoustic soundscapes. Some haunting kind of electric guitar. It's kind of haunting in the distance. Nicely done. Nicely done. Mother Spinning in Her Grave, Glass Dick Jones. Upbeat, rocking, slashing guitars all over the place. Fun song. Hellbound. Massive riff machine. Walls of heavy guitars, big pounding drums, memorable chorus, strong vocal from Jerry. Easily one of my favorites on here. Hellbound. Terrific. Give It a Name. It's kind of like bluesy, jangly rock. Not really a fan of that. Castaway brings back that brooding, heavy vibe. Love the lead vocal. Menacing guitar riffs everywhere. Good song. She Was My Girl. It's kind of quirky alternative rock. I get why this was kind of like popular to do stuff like this around this time. It's not really my cup of tea, but I'm sure plenty of people really dig this. It's catchy. It's memorable. Like I said, kind of quirky. Whatever. Chemical Tribe is awesome. Man, that guitar tone just crushes. So good. Love Chemical Tribe. And it's doomy and just menacing. So good. Spider Bite, another massively heavy song. Trujillo's bass is just fuzzy and huge and right next to Jerry's guitar. Bone-crushingly heavy riffage on this song. Absolutely love it. This is another Alice in Chains style. This could have come off of Dirt. If you would have said this was a Long Lost track from Dirt, I'd been like, yep, sounds like it. Great. Pulls out his wah-wah for Locked On. Great song. Catchy. Rocks hard. But then they close the album with Gone, which is another this kind of country-flavored, jangly, rootsy Americana type thing. I don't really dig it. Kind of a weird way to close the album, too. So it's a long album. For me, take out a couple of those weaker tracks that I don't really connect with, and it's a Jerry Cantrell classic right here. Really good. So, but still, regardless, some of my favorite songs in his catalog are on this album. Really, really good. And again, I've never heard the expanded edition. I'm sure there's some good stuff on there too. So if you have, just list it down in the comments if there's anything really, really good from the expanded edition that I'm missing. And do I have to go out and get that? So that's my number 2. And my number 1 is going to be the most recent album, I Want Blood. 2024. Lots of guests on this album. It's also one of the shorter ones in the catalog. Robert Trujillo's back on here. Mike Borden's here. Duff McKagan's here. Gil Sharon's here. Vincent Jones. Got some few other people. It starts off with Vilified, which is just a crushing opener. One of his best solo songs, in my opinion. One of my favorites. Ultra heavy guitars. And the vocals, just that haunting Jerry Cantrell vocal style. Pounding grooves. Really good. Off the Rails has these slicing lead guitars. It's quite doomy as well. You got Afterglow, which is brighter sounding, despite it's still moody, but it's a little brighter sounding, if that makes any sense. The title track, I Want Blood, is a little faster, a little more upbeat, catchy chorus, memorable. The whole song is really memorable. The vocals are great, really good. Then you got the brooding Echoes of Laughter, which is quite good as well. Throw Me a Line. Catchy, hard rock. Love the riffs. Cult chorus is ultra memorable. And I love the way the lead and backing vocals are layered on this album. Actually, on all these albums, but really good on this album. Let It Lie is trademark Alice in Chains style doom. Love the riffs. Love the haunting vocals. Just so good. So good. Another one of my favorite songs on here and one of my favorite songs in the catalog. Held Your Tongue is a little more lighthearted, a little upbeat. Catchy, fun. He's got a bunch of these songs in the catalog. Usually there's like 1 or 2 tracks on each album that's kind of in this vein. Really great chorus. And then you got It Comes, which closes the album. Longest track, it's 6.5 minutes long. It's melancholy, it's doomy, it's psychedelic, it's just sitting there at the end of the album, just kind of dripping off if you had the vinyl, right? Just dripping off the end of of the vinyl. Right? It's a cool song. It's not one of my favorites on the album, but it's pretty cool. It's typical. Again, Jerry likes to throw these sort of things out there too. Overall, a really strong album. Really strong album. Like I said, it's between these two as my favorites. They're both great. I think if you take like my favorite songs, quite honestly, if you take my favorite tracks off of all of these albums and put them all on one album, you may have the greatest, maybe not the greatest, but one of the greatest Alice in Chains albums of all time. As it is, there's greatness on these records. Is any of them a drop-dead classic? Maybe not quite, but pretty close. Like I said, you can make the argument that 3 of these are really great albums, right? Or bordering on greatness. One of them, to me, is pretty spotty. But there's greatness on all these records, right? And some songs that I don't really connect with, but for the most part, I really, really enjoy these quite a bit. So that's my ranking. So I'm going to go, like I said, I'm going to go with... I Want Blood as my favorite, Degradation Trip number 2, Boggy Depot number 3, and then I'm going to go with Brighten at number 4. Kira agrees with me right here. She does. So that's my ranking for the Jerry Cantrell solo catalog. Let us know how you would rank these down in the comments below. And if you haven't heard any of them, go check them out. If you're an Alice in Chains fan, you absolutely should. These should be part of your collection. And... put that all down in the comments below, and visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as a post. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also down below, we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, our merch page, our Cameo page, and the Sea of Tranquility membership options. All down there. Thanks in advance for all your support. It's greatly appreciated, and we'll see you soon here with more stuff. I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.